Okay, so this afternoon I'm just going to run through a little bit about polytunnel growing and setting up a polytunnel. So this is in my sister's garden, and I've just been helping her rejig the polytunnel. So a few things just to think about if you're planning to buy a polytunnel. First of all, figure out how much space you have in the garden for your polytunnel, and probably, because you're going to invest a bit of money in it, get as big a tunnel as you can. Now this, I suppose, would be on the bigger size for a small garden. The tunnel is 9 meters by 4 meters, so it's a good size. And I don't really like to recommend polytunnel suppliers. There's so many of them in Ireland, and everyone has pros and cons from the different suppliers. So really what you're looking at is good quality bars, but also the quality of the plastic. This plastic has been on the tunnel for, I'd say, about 14 years. So it was good plastic. It was 800 gauge. So you definitely want to be looking at something around 800 gauge plastic. Anything 750 is okay, but anything less than that, it's not going to last. You can also do, I think they offer a 900 gauge nowadays, but you're looking at commercial tunnels at that, and it's going to be a little bit more. So look for something around an 800 gauge for the plastic. And again, just have someone help you put it down. This is plastic that's buried, so there's a trench dug out, and you can see there, like this has been in for ages. It'll probably need to be replaced in a year or two, because I can see it starting to split. But until that happens, we won't remove it. So again, you can also get plastic that is clipped onto boards at the bottom, which is probably easier to manage. But the tunnel or the trench style where you bury the plastic works okay once it's put down correctly. So we're just going to walk inside now to look at the setup of the tunnel. And again, it's personal choice. Some people like to make permanent raised beds in the polytunnel, and you can do that then from scratch. If you have a clean spot where it's just pasture, you could build raised beds on top. You could just do a no-dig system where you lay your cardboard on top of the grass, and then you build your beds on top of that. For this tunnel, this tunnel has been worked as a traditional method where you dig in the compost every year. And the polytunnel, because it's 4 meters wide, it's got a large bed on either side. So it's got 2 large beds that are 1.5 meters wide, and then the path in the center is about 60 or 70, I think. So again, because it's just a garden tunnel, space is not up. We don't mind how much space we use for paths. In a commercial scale, they'd be trying to get as much as they could out of each bed. So we just give a little bit of, it's better to give a little bit more space in the pathway, so you can bring in your wheelbarrow and you're not like stepping on the beds. So again, 2 big beds on either side, and then a pathway down the middle. And this pathway has been mulched with well composted wood chippings for the last couple of years. So we're just topping up down here. You can see we're just kind of marking where the path is there. Now, because the beds are very wide, it means that you have to figure out how you're going to get in there. So instead of working from the traditional way where you're stepping from either side of the bed, you're going to have paths going in this way. Right, so you're going to have a section of the bed where you're going to be able to walk in and put your plants on either side. So you can do that by using a board, or for example, if you were going to plant something like tomatoes, you leave a good distance in between each row, and you use this then as your pathway to get in during the season. So that's another way of doing just setting up the beds. In addition, this had quite a bit of farmyard manure worked into it last year. And then this year we might do where our rows of vegetables are going to be sown and planted, we might just use the mushroom compost as a mulch on top, because the soil here is very sandy and you can see the ground is very dry. So the next step, after we just pulled out all the plants from last year, is we're going to soak the tunnel for a couple of hours, just let the water in on it and just get it wet. And then over the next couple of weeks, then we'll start planting in some different selection of plants into it. The tomatoes won't go in probably until the first week in May. So again, just a couple of pointers for getting ready at this time of year if you have a polytunnel, or if you're thinking about getting a polytunnel. I suppose the main thing is to get one as big as you can for the space that you have.